Hello. Good morning and warm welcome to all the delegates, dignitaries, participants, and my dear student friends. First of all, let me welcome all you on the occasion of this one-day national webinar on hydrogen, the fuel of future, aligning to National Hydrogen Mission 2021. A promising step towards retiring from fossil fuels under the auspice of a national webinar jointly organized by ISRO, NIT, ISRO, Hello. Good morning and warm welcome to all the delegates, dignitaries, participants, and my dear student friends. First of all, let me welcome all you on the occasion of this one-day national webinar on hydrogen, the fuel of future, aligning to National Hydrogen Energy Mission 2021, a promising step towards retiring from the fuel fossil fuels under the auspice of national webinar jointly organized with Innovative Engineering Satara and the Internal Quality Assurance Cell, TSK College Deur, Satara, on this pleasant morning. Now it's the time to welcome today's resource person, Honorable Engineer Arvindji Kadam, who is entrepreneur and founder of Innovative Engineering Satara, manufacturing and export venture. Also, I would like to welcome panelist of today's webinar, Honorable Dr. Vivek Parker, scientist, Baba Atomic Research Center, Mumbai, and President of this webinar, Principal Dr. Bharat Bhosle sir, trustees of Sri Mudhai Devi Shikshan Sanstha, and all the live audience. Welcome you all once again. Established in 1999, Sri Mudhai Devi Shikshan Sanstha's Professor Sambhajirao Kadam College, Deur, Satara, offers degree programs in the faculties of arts, commerce, and science, and BHOK in food processing technology. Ours is perhaps the only institute in India who has designed distinctive and professional programs towards emerging profession that secure highly rewarding career opportunities. The course is a certificate course in international trade, export import management. The second certificate course in GST law, operational processes and practices. We have also launched some preparatory course for self-employment, preparatory course leading to chartered accountant, cost management accounting, and preparatory course to IIT's joint admission test for masters, IIT JAM. There are some distinctive outreach programs which showcasing institutional social responsibilities. Our ISR project, rainwater harvesting and borewell recharge, is perhaps the only institute in India that has undertaken such a unique project at social level in drought-prone region. The institute, known for its quick and proactive response towards issues of national importance such as Self-Reliant India Mission, Digital India Mission, Jal Mission, New Education Policy, and just launched a National Hydrogen Energy Mission, etc. Friends, the topic of this webinar, hydrogen, the fuel of future, showcases itself how distinctive this webinar is. Perhaps our institute might be the first institute in India that has organized a webinar on such a distinctive topic of a national importance. In the backdrop of India's huge energy needs, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced a National Hydrogen Energy Mission 2021 in his Independence Day speech on 15th August 2021. So, what is the aim of this mission? What is the aim of this mission? Why is hydrogen called a stone towards a green economy? Why is hydrogen called a stepping stone towards a green economy? What are the properties of hydrogen that makes it the fuel of future? So let us know the answers of these questions from our resource person, and that is Engineer Arvindji Kadam sir. May I now request to Honorable Engineer Arvindji Kadam sir. He is the entrepreneur and owner of Innovative Engineering Manufacturing and Export Venture, the trustee of Sri Mudhai Devi Shikshan Sanstha, and the dynamic president of our CDC, who has developed a new and student-centric ecosystem of our institute by his innovative and out-of-the-box way of thinking. He is the architect of our two unique professional programs, International Trade and GST Law. He is also the author of these books. He is the honorary membership of the various national, international, professional bodies, as well as social organizations like Engineering Export Promotion Council of India, Maharashtra Chamber of Commerce, Industries and Agriculture, Manufacturer Association of Satara, that is MAS, as well as Vice President Rotary Club of Satara, Rotary International District 3132. We are also so fortunate to have such a great and versatile personality at the helm of our institute. So may I now request to today's resource person, Honorable Engineer Arvindji Kadam sir, to address this distinctive webinar on hydrogen, the fuel of future, a promising step towards retiring from fossil fuels. Honorable Engineer Arvindji Kadam sir.
Thank you. Good morning, one and all. Am I audible, friends?
Yes, sir.
Trustees of Sri Mudhai Devi Shikshan Sanstha, Dr. Vivek G. Parker, scientist, BARC, Mumbai, Principal Dr. Bharat Bhosle, the organizing committee, and the live audience. It's my great pleasure to share views on this emerging and progressive topic, hydrogen, the fuel of future, aligning to the National Hydrogen Mission 2021, which is a promising step towards retiring from fossil fuels. Friends, India imports 85% of its crude oil and 53% of gas demand and spends over 12 lakh crore rupees per annum on importing energy. As per Environmental Index, India is ranked 174th position due to its highly polluted air. Friends, it is imperative to understand that as a developing nation, India continuously oscillates between constant need for development and maintain low standards of emission. So, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced National Hydrogen Energy Mission in his Independence Day speech on 15th August 2021. Its aim is to make our country energy independent, meet its climate targets, and a global hub for green hydrogen production and exports. Friends, traditionally, a slow mover in renewable energy technologies, India has made an early entry in the race to tap the energy potential of the most abundant element in the universe, hydrogen, and moved a step towards a green economy. This mission focuses deeply on generation of green hydrogen, which is extracted from clean and green power sources and enable its commercial viability as a transportation fuel. Friends, for better understanding of this topic, I'm going to explain this through PPT presentation.
National webinar September काय करलो
Hello, Aditya sir.
Right.
So, hello, Professor Aditya. What is the issue? Hello. What is the issue, Professor Aditya? Don't worry.
एक मिनिट करतोय तुम्हाला एकच मिनिट तुम्हाला पाठवतोय मी.
Professor Adate, you may send presentation to Podbare. Yes, it's done. It's done. It's done.
Is the screen visible?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay. Sorry for interruption, friends. I have split this topic into 4 parts for better understanding. First one is the distinctive properties of hydrogen that makes it the fuel of future. Second one, the types of hydrogen and production technologies of green hydrogen. Third one, application of hydrogen as a fuel. And fourth one, an overview of technological developments relating to green hydrogen around the globe and in India. Next slide, please. So friends, what are the distinctive properties of hydrogen that makes it the fuel of future. Astronomers estimate that 90% of atoms in the universe are hydrogen atoms. Water is the most abundant compound of hydrogen found on the earth. Hydrogen is the lightest and first element on the periodic table. Since its weight of hydrogen is less than air, it rises in the atmosphere, therefore rarely found in its pure form. It can be stored physically as a gas or a liquid. Hydrogen is an ideal clean energy source. It is a zero emission fuel. While when burnt in air, hydrogen reacts with oxygen to form water and release energy. This is the chemical reaction. Hydrogen combines with oxygen to form water and energy, and there is no emission of carbon. That's why it is green fuel. Next slide, please. Compared with other energy sources, hydrogen has high calorific value and energy density as well. Since it is a powerful fuel, it is used to propel rocket. It can be used in fuel cells or internal combustion engines. The World Energy Council has noted that combusting on 1 kg of hydrogen releases 3 times more energy than a kilo of gasoline. It means it is 3 times powerful than gasoline. Intermittent and unstable nature, restrictions to sustain steady release of energy is a major problem in the current use of solar, wind, and other energy sources, renewable energy sources. So at present, renewable, clean, efficient, and non-toxic hydrogen power seems to be the perfect form of sustainable energy. Friends, let us start with types of hydrogen. This is pictorial presentation. You can understand the processes of production of hydrogen, of different types of hydrogen. First one is gray hydrogen, then blue hydrogen, then green hydrogen. You can see timeline also. Before 2020, gray hydrogen was in use, in application. After 2020, and at present, blue hydrogen is being used. And the feature means after 2030, green hydrogen will be used everywhere. Just you see the figure of gray hydrogen. It is called gray hydrogen because it is made by burning fossil fuels, which emit carbon dioxide. And the blue hydrogen, that is also made by burning fossil fuels and emit carbon dioxide. Only difference is that carbon dioxide is stored in underground storages. That is the only difference between gray hydrogen and blue hydrogen. Green hydrogen, you can see green power is supplied. It is made through water electrolysis, and green power is supplied for electrolysis process, and that carbon produced is carbon free and green hydrogen. Friends, Putbare sir, next slide. Putbare sir. Next slide.
sir.
In this webinar, we are focusing on focusing especially on green hydrogen. So let us discuss the gray and blue hydrogen in brief only, just for reference. Gray hydrogen, it is not an expensive, but releases a lot of carbon dioxide emissions as it is extracted through the burning of fossil fuels. And this gray hydrogen is produced through natural gas reforming, that is thermochemical process. That is in brief, I have explained it. Natural gas contains methane, that is CH4. It means it contains carbon. That can be that natural gas contain methane that can be used to produce hydrogen with thermal processes, such as steam methane reformation. In this process, high temperature steam is used to produce hydrogen from a methane source, such as natural gas. That chemical reaction of steam methane reforming, methane reacts with steam in the presence of catalyst to produce hydrogen and carbon monoxide and a small amount of carbon dioxide. Steam reforming is endothermic process, that is, heat must be supplied to the process of reaction to proceed. Methane plus water and plus heat is equal to carbon monoxide plus hydrogen. Today, most of the hydrogen produced is made via steam methane reforming. Next slide, please. The second type is blue hydrogen. Blue hydrogen uses the same process as the gray. In this process, carbon is captured and stored, and that is called carbon capture storage, CCS. This makes it much more environment friendly, but comes with added technical challenges and a big increase in cost. And that CO2 captured is transported by a pipeline and stored deep underground, often is depleted oil and gas reservoirs. Now the focus area, that is green hydrogen. Hydrogen produced from water through electrolysis using renewable energy is referred as green hydrogen. It releases zero carbon emissions. Green hydrogen production technologies that is produced through electrolysis, that is the process of using electricity to split water into hydrogen and oxygen. The reaction takes place in a unit called an electrolyzer. How does an electrolyzer work? Electrolyzer consists of an anode and a cathode separated by an electrolyte. Different electrolyzers function in different ways, mainly due to the different type of electrolytic material involved and the ionic species it conducts. Let us understand the functioning of electrolyzer. Next slide, please. Just you observe this chemical reaction. First type of electrolyzer is alkaline electrolyzer. Means electrolyte is alkaline. This electrolyzer consists of two nickel-based electrodes immersed in a highly concentrated aqueous alkaline electrolyte of 30% KOH or sodium hydroxide 25%. The two electrodes are separated by a thin diaphragm that is called membrane, made up of asbestos or polyphenylene sulfide. To separate, its purpose is to separate product gases. Diaphragm is used to separate product gases, and that diaphragm is conductive to hydroxide ions and water, and non-conductive to gases. In both hydrogen and oxygen gases, the diaphragm is non-conductive. but that is conductive to ions and water. That is very important part. And I have displayed those reactions, oxidation reaction that takes place at anode. Hydroxide ions lose their electrons to form water and oxygen at anode. And reduction reaction takes place at cathode. Water combines with electrons. Water combines with electrons to form hydrogen gas and hydroxide ions. Here, please note, electrons has to travel from external circuit, and then that they reach the cathode. When electrons travel through external circuit, in that case only cathode reduction reaction takes place at cathode. Water combines with electrons to form water and hydrogen and hydroxide ions. Let us watch video here. Potbari sir. पोटबरे सर.
हा येस सर
बॅकच्या स्लाइड वर घ्या आणि वर व्हिडिओची लिंक दिली.
हा
आणि ते व्हिडिओच्या लिंक वर क्लिक करा.
ओके सर ओके सो हे सर मागे घेऊ नका जास्त. एक मिनिट.
हा इथं आहे बघा.
हा वर
YouTube ची लिंक आहे.
ओके सर.
Photovoltaic panels are an ever-advancing technology.
That is not visible on screen.
स्टार्ट झालेली सर व्हिडिओ.
पण स्क्रीन वर विजिबल नाहीये ती. Yes. Now it is visible.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Technology used throughout the world, which creates electricity from the sun. However, storing the electricity for later use is the biggest challenge facing users of this technology. When not feeding into the grid, people have had to rely solely on batteries for energy storage, which are expensive, difficult to dispose of in a safe manner, and have to be replaced frequently. But now there are other viable technologies and systems for storing energy, even for the average homeowner. The system we want to introduce to you is hydrogen energy storage. Hydrogen energy storage has several important advantages over battery systems. The underlying technology that makes this possible is hydrogen electrolysis. You may remember your high school chemistry teacher using low voltages to create reactions in various solutions. This is the electrolytic process and can be used to split water into hydrogen and oxygen. The machine that does this is a hydrogen electrolyzer. We use hydrogen electrolysis to convert electrical energy and store it into tanks in the form of hydrogen, which can be transformed later back into electricity. Hydrogen electrolysis from water is usually undertaken with liquid alkaline or polymer electrolyte membrane electrolyzers. The alkaline electrolyzer works by immersing two electrodes in a liquid electrolyte. When a voltage is applied, the product gases are released, in this case oxygen and hydrogen. However, it does pose some problems. It is unable to make efficient use of intermittent power supplies, meaning it's incompatible with renewables. It also compromises efficiency during storage. To store enough hydrogen for regular use, you would need either a giant tank or an additional compressor. The PEM electrolyzer overcomes some of these issues by using a solid polymer electrolyte, which is the membrane responsible for the conduction of protons, the separation of hydrogen and oxygen, and the electrical insulation of the electrodes. It's able to make use of the fluctuating power supply from renewables and results in pure hydrogen due to the solid structure of the electrolyte. It is easy and more efficient. However, it has a prohibitively high cost due to its required use of gold, iridium, and platinum. Fortunately, a new type of electrolyzer, the anion exchange membrane or AEM electrolyzer, provides a solution to all of these problems. It uses an alkaline solid polymeric membrane, eliminating the need for rare and expensive noble metal catalysts. The AEM electrolyzer is a simpler and more efficient system that produces directly compressed hydrogen. It's the key technology that enables lower overall costs. The AEM electrolyzer combines the benefits of the PEM electrolyzer with the cost of an alkaline system. It's an important breakthrough which will enable the economical adoption of hydrogen energy storage systems all over the world. Please contact us for more information on this groundbreaking technology and how it can benefit you.
Next slide, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, you watched. Sir,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Next slide, sir.
just we watched the function of electrolyzer. In alkaline electrolyzer, when electric current is passed, anode hydroxide ions lose electrons to form oxygen and water, and at cathode, water molecules combine with electrons to form hydrogen and hydroxide ions. Hydrogen and oxygen gases generated by electrolysis cannot pass through the membrane, that is diaphragm, and hydrogen gas is collected and stored in chambers. This electrolysis is a mature technology for hydrogen production up to megawatt scale and represents the most widely used electrolytic technology on a commercial level worldwide. Major challenges associated with AE are the handling of corrosive electrolyte and limited current densities due to moderate hydroxide ion mobility that affects the production efficiency. They are less efficient compared with the PEM electrolyte. Next slide, please. This is the young technology. PEM electrolyzer means proton exchange membrane, and this electrolyzer solid PEM membrane is used as a electrolyte. PEM water electrolysis is a young technology that has good performance and stability. In this process, electrolyte is a solid, acidic, and made up of specialized plastic material that is non-conductive for electrons but conductive for protons. That is very important. That membrane is non-conductive for electrons. That's why electrons could travel from external circuit to cathode, and it is conductive for protons. Means only protons could pass through the membrane, porous membrane. Actually, it is porous membrane. Only protons could travel through the membrane, not electrons. At anode, water is split into oxygens, protons, and electron. You can see chemical reaction at anode. Water is split into oxygen, protons, and electrons. Since membrane is conductive to protons, move across the PEM to the cathode. Only hydrogen protons travels to cathode through membrane, and at cathode, these protons combine with the supplied electrons from external circuit. Protons combine with the electrons to form hydrogen gas. Let us watch video for better understanding. Dr. Potburi sir, just play the. No, sir. Just go back and just start the video.
Okay, sir.
Link is given.
Okay, sir.
Back, sir. No, sir. Yes. Stay here. That link is given above.
My job is to
सर
make
स्टार्ट केलेली आहे. एकच मिनिट ते दिसते याच्यावरती आलेली आहे.
college easier because students have a lot on their
हा दिसते का सर?
plates. Like Harper, an econ
Yes,
major who
visible.
piled.
Yes.
Wer wie was?
The ever-rising demand for energy and the challenges of climate change call for a renewable and green energy landscape. But this is a challenge in itself. Renewable electricity needs to be stored for times when it is needed, and it needs to be transported to locations where it is needed. The solution? Converting green electricity into another green energy carrier that can easily be transported and stored. One of these green energy carriers is hydrogen. Its high energy density when compressed, its usefulness as process gas, and its excellent storing capabilities make it the #1 choice for countless applications. So, the question is, how can we produce enough green hydrogen? One answer is the PEM electrolysis. The PEM, or proton exchange membrane, electrolysis process allows to convert green electricity into green hydrogen that can then be used for numerous industrial processes as well as for grid services. How does it work? Like all forms of electrolysis, hydrogen is produced by splitting water into hydrogen and oxygen with the help of electricity. A direct current is passed through water and oxygen is formed at the positive anode while hydrogen is released at the negative cathode. Wait a second, isn't the conductivity of pure water quite low? That's right, that's why in conventional electrolysis, something that promotes the conductivity, often salt, is added. In the PEM electrolysis, however, a proton exchange membrane is used. It allows for the necessary particle transport between anode and cathode and therefore replaces any additives to the water. This makes the whole process more environmentally friendly. The recovered green hydrogen can be compressed and stored. It can be used in various industrial processes, such as the production of chemicals, iron and steel, food, semiconductors, in oil and gas refineries, as well as in mobility applications. And, thanks to the flexible power consumption of the electrolyzer, the plant used in the PEM process does not only produce hydrogen, it also provides grid services to even out the fluctuating energy levels produced by renewable sources of energy. Do you want to know more about hydrogen and green electricity? Pay a visit at verbund.com.
Sir, just go back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
त्योहार की फैशन शॉपिंग only with Myntra Big Fashion Festival starts 3rd October. Don't miss out.
करा. Proper दुसरं घे.
This is just comparison between alkaline electrolyzer and PEM electrolyzer. Alkaline is electrolyte is a liquid form, and in PEM it is in solid form. You can see some the properties such as current density, cell area, production rate, gas purity, and system response is much higher as compared to alkaline electrolyzer. That's why PEM electrolyzer is more efficient than alkaline electrolyzer. Next slide, sir. The third type of hydrogen production is a direct solar water splitting process. It means photoelectrochemical process. In this photolytic process, light energy and specialized semiconductors are used to split water into hydrogen and oxygen. This is a promising solar to hydrogen pathway, offering the potential for high conversion efficiency at low operating temperatures. That is important. It can work at low temperatures using cost-effective thin film or a particle semiconductor materials. However, these processes are currently in various early stages of research, but offer long-term potential for sustainable hydrogen production with low environmental impact. We have three processes. Now the production part is over. Now we are going towards application of hydrogen as a fuel. Application part is started. Application of hydrogen as a fuel. Hydrogen fuel cell. We are going to study the working of hydrogen fuel cell. Hydrogen fuel cells are emerging as a high potential technology that offers significant energy efficiency and decarbonization benefits. Just you watch here, you can see here the different parts of hydrogen: anode, cathode, and the path of fuel and water and hydrogen gas. That membrane is of polymer electrolytic membrane. The polymer electrolyte membrane, PEM, it is called PEM, allows only protons to pass through it to the cathode, and negatively charged electrons must travel along an external circuit to cathode, creating an electrical current. It means that chemical energy present in hydrogen atoms is converted into electrical energy. That is the concept of fuel cell. And at anode, you can see at anode, platinum catalyst causes the hydrogen to split into protons and electrons. Basic hydrogen atom is split into protons and electrons at anode, and at cathode, electrons and protons combine with oxygen to form water, which flows out of the cell. Any product is water and hydrogen gas. Sorry, production is water and electrical energy products. And reactant means input is only hydrogen gas, and that is split into protons and electrons, and electrons combine with hydrogen ions to form oxygen, to form water, which flows out of the cell. And let us watch video to understand it better.
Hydrogen fuel cells can be used for a wide range of applications, like transportation, material handling, backup power applications, etc. The conventional combustion-based technologies presently used in vehicles and power plants. It is an opportunity for the fuel cell to provide its benefits. Hydrogen is used to power the fuel cell electric vehicles FCEVs. It exerts more efficiency over conventional engine vehicles, as it produces no tailpipe emissions, but only emits warm air and water vapor. Let's learn how a hydrogen fuel cell works. Do you know how a battery works? Yes, the fuel cells work like batteries, but they do not run down or need recharging. They can produce electricity constantly. Fuel cells can operate at higher efficiencies than a combustion engines and can convert the chemical energy in the fuel to electrical energy. A fuel cell is composed of two plates separated by an electrolyte membrane. One plate is called anode and the other is cathode. Hydrogen is passed through the anode while oxygen is passed through the cathode. At the anode, the hydrogen molecules are split into electrons and protons by a catalyst. The positive particle of hydrogen can pass through the membrane, but the negative particle cannot pass through it. However, atoms need an equalizing charge, and to achieve this, electron must change the path. That time, the electrons are forced through a circuit and generates electric current and heat. The end product of this reaction is water, H2O. At the cathode, the hydrogen protons, electrons, and oxygen combine to produce water molecules. Due to the lack of moving parts, the cells are highly reliable and its operation is silent. The hydrogen fuel cell is useful in the automobile industry also. Currently, there are several companies around the world working on the development of hydrogen cars. To learn more about the hydrogen fuel cell car, check out our next video. Friends, please share this video globally. Let's grow up. Never stop your learning.
आता टीचर.
Friends, just now you have watched the structure in 3D view and the animated video also. Now this is the cross section view of a cell, chemical reaction, how chemical reaction takes place in hydrogen cell. Similar to batteries, a fuel cell is a device that converts chemical energy stored in molecules of hydrogen into electricity through an electrochemical reaction. You can see here that is PEM membrane. Here anodic reaction, hydrogen gas is split into protons and electrons, and at cathode that hydrogen protons combine with electrons to form water. That fuel consists of two electrodes, anode and cathode, sandwiched around the electrolyte. Hydrogen is fed to anode. Here hydrogen atoms split into electrons and protons. Oxygen is fed to cathode. Oxygen is fed to cathode. Positively charged protons pass through the PEM electrolyte, that is solid, to cathode and combine with oxygen to produce water. The negatively charged electrons could not pass through the electrolyte. Negatively charged electrons could not pass through the electrolyte and travel out of the cell to generate electricity. Electrons travel out of the cell to produce electricity, and that load means the you can say load means motor. It may be motor on any application where you need electric current. That is that to that device this supply is given. It produces electric current to drive that load. That is the basic principle of hydrogen fuel. Next, some key advantages of hydrogen fuel cells. Fuel cells don't need recharging. Fuel cells can continue to generate electricity as long as a fuel source is provided. You can supply hydrogen continuously to produce electricity. Individual fuel cells can be stacked to form larger systems capable of producing more power, thereby allowing scalability. A single fuel cell can produce enough voltage to power small applications, while fuel cell stacks can be combined to create large-scale multi-megawatt installations. Because there are no moving parts, fuel cells are silent and highly reliable. Some applications, fuel cells can be used in a wide range of applications, providing power for applications across the multiple sectors, including transportation, industrial commercial buildings, large utility power stations, as small as laptop computer. Next, sir. Let us know the transitional phases of hydrogen. Timeline of hydrogen development. Energy transition is underway at an exceptional level, and several countries are betting on hydrogen to emerge as a green economy. You can see here phase 1 that was technology development. That was continued up to 2015. Phase 2, initial market penetration, a transition to marketplace that was started in 2010. It is still going on. Phase 3, infrastructure investment, expansion of market and infrastructure. That is already started in 2015. It is continued and will continue. Phase 4, fully developed market and infrastructure phase, that is realization of the hydrogen economy. That realization is going to start in within a year, actually. Already started somewhat. Scaling up around the world. What is happening about hydrogen development around the world? Friends, modern technology relating to hydrogen has continued to grow by leaps and bounds in recent times. The year 2019 saw a record-breaking growth in development of electrolysis capacity. In February 2021, Hydrogen Council released a report with outlines, which outlines the scale of growth. Over 200 projects have been announced by over 30 countries, with investment totaling over $300 billion. The main players at the moment are Australia and Europe, with each adopting a slightly different approach. Australia has firmly identified hydrogen as a priority with the goal of producing green hydrogen for under $2 per kg. European Union has formed a Clean Hydrogen Alliance and is developing hydrogen valleys which use the offshore wind capacity of the North Sea to power electrolyzers and use the existing natural gas pipeline network to enable the transportation of hydrogen across the European continent. Saudi Arabia recently announced its intention to enter the market with its expertise in energy sector. Next slide, please. A very important player in hydrogen development is Japan. He is known for his distinctive research work. Japan is working on hydrogen that is friends. All other countries are working on green hydrogen, but Japan is working on hydrogen that is greener than green. It has developed a project which could have wide-ranging potential. Friends, wide-ranging potential.
আমার কাছে আসে কিন্তু দিতাম না আমার কাছে আসে কিন্তু দিতাম না
Podbari sir, please mute.
जोर करने देखेगा हाँ 1 मिनट सर 1 मिनट मार लागो किता
is there
केने किता हाँ दर्शन अल्लाह एगो दलाल हमार रिन्यू करिया दिता उतार करतो लिस्ट बनाई छे दर्शन
Dr. Podbari sir, could you mute please?
हाँ यस सर म्यूट करा दीजिए मला होस्ट करना था नहीं नहीं होस्ट 551 अरे एक मिनट सर ओटाई तो तारे किता लगे नहीं सर वो कोई बड़ा चला ले घूम अभी मला तात्पुरतं तुम्ही करा ना पोस्ट करा तात्पुरतं मॅडम ना तुम्हाला होस्ट करा तो नंतर पण इकडे या आम्ही किती आहे तुम्हाला बोललेलं आहे तुम्हाला पोलिसला आहे आम्हाला एचओ तो नेट कनेक्शन प्रॉब्लेम आला हां नेट कनेक्शन प्रॉब्लेम माझ्यातून पण आणि तुमची तार आहे का
Yes, now continue sir.
एक मिनिट सर थोडं जरा नेटचं हे झालेलं आहे नेट प्रॉब्लेम चालू करा एक मिनिट सर चालू करतो जरा स्टार्ट झाले
Yes, right. Now screen is visible. Can I continue?
Yes sir
Yes, sir.
Friends, I was talking about the country Japan. Japan is working on a hydrogen that is greener than green. Hydrogen that is greener than green. It has developed a project which could have wide-ranging potential. That is turning sewage into hydrogen via a carbon neutral process. Hydrogen produced from waste gasification is greener than green. Hydrogen produced from sewage waste gasification is greener than green and the cheapest one too. This could help to produce hydrogen locally and reduce the transportation cost. That is the main advantage. The US is lagging a little behind in some respects with the report commissioned last year, urging policymakers to follow the lead of the European Union. In the development of hydrogen, US is lagging right now than European Union. Next, sir, these are the developments around the globe. Now let us see the developments in India. Where is India? Developments in India relating to hydrogen as a fuel. Hydrogen fuel cell bus was launched in 2019 in India by Tata Motors in collaboration with the ISRO, the Indian Space Research Organization, and Indian Oil Corporation. In addition, Hyundai also seeks to place its first fuel cell Nexo SUV in India by 2021 in current year, and plans on building the required hydrogen. Pudbari sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Next slide.
Slide, not visible.
Hello. जरा मीटिंग मध्ये आहे थोड्या.
Yes, sir.
Developments in India related to hydrogen as a fuel continued. Examples of projects include development of internal combustion engines running on hydrogen to power 2 and 3 wheelers, minibuses, as well as establishment of 2 hydrogen refueling stations at Indian Oil R&D Center in Faridabad and the National Institute of Solar Energy in Gurugram. 18% blend of hydrogen with CNG. Blend of hydrogen with CNG, called HCNG, was declared as an automotive fuel in September 2020. As a part of hydrogen CNG pilot project, 50 buses in Delhi have been rolled out with blended hydrogen in compressed natural gas. 2 hydrogen refueling stations have also been set up, one at National Institute of Solar Energy, Gurugram, and another at the Indian Oil R&D Center, Faridabad. These are the developments in India. Next slide, sir. Push towards a hydrogen future, a way forward. India is taking significant steps to improve energy efficiency. The Ministry of New and Renewable Energy is extending support for several projects being carried out in research and development organizations for developing hydrogen and fuel cells across the country. 14 research and development projects for the hydrogen economy are currently being pursued. IIT Delhi, Banaras Hindu University, and from corporate world, Mahindra and Mahindra are exploring and addressing challenges in the production of green hydrogen, its safe storage and utilization as a energy fuel across transportation, fuel cells and combustion. Center has committed rupees 800 crores between 2021 to 2024 towards pilot projects, R&D, and projects to bring down the cost of hydrogen production and push India towards a hydrogen future. How can hydrogen help India to become low carbon economy? Friends, mass deployment of renewable energy in India. Renewable energy means of solar and wind, etc. in India help us to produce electricity cheaper than any other source of energy. Similar deployment of green hydrogen at the lowest cost will help us in a leadership position, not only to meet our green hydrogen demand internally, but also to become a major exporter of green hydrogen worldwide. This initiative on green hydrogen can help us to build an ecosystem of 2 to 3 trillion US dollars industry in next 20 to 25 years. You can see such a huge demand will be there for green hydrogen, such that India can build an ecosystem of 2 to 3 trillion US dollar industry. Right now, India's GDP economy is around 2.5 trillion US dollars only. That alone hydrogen economy can count for 2 to 3 trillion US dollars in the near future. With the current cost of green hydrogen produced by electrolysis estimated at around rupees 350 per kg. Right now, current cost is around rupees 350 per kg. The plan is to more than halve it to 160 per kg by 2019 to 30. Next. What are the challenges? First one is, of course, technology. The patents related to technology are with developed countries from European Union, USA, Japan, etc. We are not a developed country. That is the part. Our in the history, we never focused on innovations. That's why we are lagging behind with other countries. Technology. Green hydrogen needs electrolyzers to be built on a larger scale. There is a huge scope for our science and engineering graduates to become innovators, entrepreneurs, and build their future and build the future of our country. Green hydrogen needs electrolyzers to be built on a larger scale. Either very high pressures or very high temperature storage containers are required, both with their own technical difficulties. That goes to research and development. Here, the mechanical engineers, research scientists from chemistry as well as physics have a huge scope for research and development. Cost is the major problem right now. Right now, the cost is around rupees 360 per kg. Right? To become competitive, the price per kg of green hydrogen has to be reduced to a benchmark of $2 per kg. That is around rupees 160 per kg. And then $1 per kg. That is around 70 rupees per kg. That will enable green hydrogen to compete with the natural gas. And that will be a big revolution in energy sector. Cost for producing green hydrogen have fallen 50% since 2015. In last 5 to 6 years, costs have been fallen already by 50% and could be reduced further by additional 30% by in next 3 to 4 years due to the benefits of increased scale. Means if we produce hydrogen on a larger scale, automatically cost will be reduced. These are all major challenges, but friends, a lot of them are already being overcome by our incredible engineers and scientists. The developments, research and development already going on, and a lot of problems have been already overcome by our engineers and scientists. Thus, hydrogen economy is nevertheless slowly developing and retiring from the fossil fuels. At last, the conclusion. In the present times, all the citizens of our planet, even we are also witnessing, in India, we are witnessing the horrors caused by climate change. And its cause is carbon emissions harmful to the environment. Countries now should aim at becoming green economies so as to ensure human sustenance on the planet. And solution is the only green hydrogen. Green hydrogen is the latest addition to the list of renewable energy resources of the world. Hydrogen energy is one of the most recently evolving and rising stars of the green economy movement. It is also proving itself to be the amazing energy solution. Friends, after all, the environment and the economy are really two sides of the same coin. Environment and economy are really the two sides of the same coin. If we can't sustain the environment, we can't sustain ourselves. At last, but not the least, hydrogen is the profession of tomorrow. Opportunity is going to knock your door soon. So predict your future and create it. Thank you, friends. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir. That is sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your enlightening words. Thank you very much for your studious and scholarly speech on hydrogen, the fuel of future, a promising step towards retiring from fossil fuels. I'm sure that this wealth of knowledge will develop interest in academic community for doing scientific research to realize hydrogen as a fuel and obviously green economy. Thank you once again. Now may I request to Honorable Dr. Vivek Parker, sir, scientist of Bhabha Atomic Research Center, to give panelists remark and to express his views on today's national webinar. Honorable Dr. Vivek Parker, sir.
Sir, Vivek Parker sir is not present.
One second. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Just now, I received the email from Dr. Vivek. He is so much occupied with a very important issue in experimentation. I requested him to join for 10 minutes, but he communicated his inability. So we'll have to carry on the program without him.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, sir. May I now request to our principal, Dr. Bharat Bhosle, sir, who is our source of inspiration from last 36 years of a teaching experience at a UG and PG classes and 27 years experience of principalship. He has published 3 books on mathematics and 20 research papers in different national and international journals. He is actively engaged in research in artificial neural network and artificial intelligence. Dr. Bhosle sir has worked on various administrative bodies like Academic Council, Senate, etc. He has chaired various international workshops, seminars, and conferences held abroad in almost 15 developed countries. He is a proud recipient of various awards and honors. He was rewarded with he was rewarded with a Bharat Gaurav Award, Bharat Excellence Award, Best Teacher Award, Paryavaran Mitra Award. May I now request to our principal, Dr. Bharat Bhosle sir, to share his valuable thoughts about this national webinar. Principal Dr. Bharat Bhosle sir.
Thank you very much, Professor Date, for a very loud introduction. Good afternoon, one and all, on this virtual platform, clinged on over 1.5 hours. Hydrogen, a fuel of future, a promising step towards retiring from fossil fuel era. I'm here to put forth the concluding comments on this session. Today, Engineer Arvindji, a speaker, a resource person, and the originator of the very idea, he has given the presentation, and it struck to me, how do I rate the session? How do I rate his presentation? Firstly, it was a brainstorm, so informative, so elaborative, a comprehensive and striking, embarking on the emerging area. So enlightening. Another question to me and to you all, what does it offer in this marathon presentation of 1.5 hours? And the answer is different for different people. We have an academic mix of professors, teachers, researchers, some from engineering colleges, technological institutions, and the students, most of them from science discipline. I call them budding researchers. And I should say, what does it offer? What does the presentation offer? I should tell you, or I should say, that there is something for everyone here. You will find it. For researchers, I may categorize it. For researchers, or would be the researchers, it opens up the Pandora box of new problems, researchable problems to tackle. Because in research process, searching a problem itself is a problem. Arvindji has presented and opened up the Pandora's box. That is for researchers. For teachers and professors, we professors, it's an illustrious demonstrative presentation. How the presentation ought to be, so organized in its contents and context too, so panoramic by its text and style, drawing attention of all at all the time throughout the marathon presentation, keeping the audience engaged throughout, giving an exciting hearing and learning experience to all of us. Now for the students, they are also forming this assembly, today's virtual assembly. For students, budding researchers, from the contents point of view, I must say, a little or nothing, they might have understood. little they might have understood. Or maybe in its extremity, nothing they might have understood. But certainly arousing their curiosity, that is important. Igniting their minds, exposing them to the wonderful avenue of research, providing motivation to them to take on research as a career, taking gray hydrogen to green hydrogen itself, in itself is a challenge, big challenge. So my young fellow students, this is what is the gain for you. Central theme, I'm not going to repeat. He has done it. He has done a decent job. Central theme embeds fuel economy, very future of all of us. It's in line with the National Hydrogen Energy Mission. Yes, energy generated or released rather by fuel. So far we relied on fossil fuel. It's not illusion, and one should not be under that illusion. In no uncertain terms, fossils and in fossils on and in, under, within the or beneath or around the Earth planet are going to exhaust, shall not last longer. Day is not far. Although energy can neither be created nor destroyed, it is there. But again, this could be rather hypothetical to reverse the process. That might be possible. Because energy can neither be created nor destroyed, it is there. It takes different forms only. But the fossils and fuels are going to destroy, being madly consumed. Although the total entropy of the universe, what is entropy? A measure of unavailable energy, unavailable system's energy, and here system is whole of the universe. A measure of energy that remains constant. That is the key point. Hydrogen fuel is a zero carbon fuel burned with oxygen. So this is fascinating. This is at the pivotal point. Provided, and the question lies here, provided challenge lies here, provided it is created in a zero carbon way. It is you who has to find out that way. Solution, see, electrolysis tells us that it's a water abundantly available on the planet Earth, the prime source of hydrogen. Solution appears easy to retiring from fossil fuel, but the solution comes with a number of problems: technological, a problem of extraction, a cost-effective processes, problem of storage, conduction, problems in bringing it to use, and many more. List goes on. It's now the challenge to the researchers to find solutions. Engineer Arvindji has rightly enlisted several problems, several challenges ahead of him. From 20 to 40, that span he has given. From gray to blue, then to green, all colors of Indradhanusha. So it has to go through all these phases. So solution may appear easy, but a number of problems are associated with it. Cost-effective processes, problem of storage, conduction, problems in bringing it in use, many more. But at the same time, he has provided the avenues where to go, what is achievable, what has been achieved till 21st, and what is yet to be achieved up to 40 or beyond that. It's now the challenge to the researchers to find solutions. Then only in truer sense, hydrogen is and would be a fuel, a paramount solution for the present and the future. So this is a very straight, striking, and clear message that our Arvindji, Engineer Arvindji, has given through his marathon presentation. So illustrative. Thank you, Engineer Arvindji, for so motivational speech. You have opened up a Pandora's box. Now it is for us to take up the challenge, for the academia, for the researchers, for the scientists. So it's a big challenge. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir, for your resourceful and ignited presidential speech. Thank you once again. Now the session is open for discussion. May I now request to all the participants, students, to raise any queries, questions, doubts to today's resource person, Engineer Arvindji Kadam, sir. Participants, students are requested to raise any queries, questions, doubts to today's resource person, Engineer Arvindji Kadam, sir.
So at least few questions. Questions never come if the context and contents are fully understood or nothing is understood.
There is one question that what about availability of such a fuel?
Sorry? What about such a fuel?
What about availability of such a fuel?
That developments are in India, developments are going on. Just in my presentation, Indian Oil has set up 2 refueling stations. Research and development is going on. Hello.
It is better to take to that slide.
Slide is required.
It is better to take to that slide, Dr. Podbare, so that it has been elaborately answered there. I think, I remember.
Yes.
Actually, Tata Motors has already launched a fuel bus in collaboration with ISRO and Indian Oil. And 18 blended hydrogen with CNG. That actually trial is also going on in Delhi. National Institute of Solar Energy, Gurugram. 2 hydrogen refueling stations have been set up.
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
What is the time required for the service centers which will be developed in our Satara district also?
Satara, long way to go. Long, I think future will decide. Research and scientists from India, engineers, scientists from India. It is dependent on the research and development.
Because we are awaiting about the CNG also, CNG fuel center also. Those are not available here. That's why I'm asking this.
But that this development is different apart from CNG, because CNG is also fossil fuel.
Yes, sir. Yes,
no, it is fossil fuel, and we are going to retire fossil fuels.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's why hydrogen is the only energy solution, sustainable energy solution.
Yes, yes.
I think that cost effectiveness is the only problem right now.
Yes.
As far as hydrogen fuel is concerned, right now it is rupees 360 per kg, and natural gas is around 70 rupees per kg.
70 rupees. Yes, yes, yes. Sir.
But that cost has been reduced by 50% in last 5 years. Hydrogen cost.
Yes.
Now that green hydrogen is at rupees 160 per kg. And that is to be brought down to rupees 70 per kg. And in that case, that will be a revolution actually, and everything will be on hydrogen fuel. Everything will be working on hydrogen fuel.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
And
thank
that
you.
research and development is going on to reduce cost only, nothing else.
Yes. 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 Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Chaudhary, sir.
Anybody can ask their queries, their doubts. Actually, for the chemical professor faculties from chemistry, especially chemistry, chemical engineers have a big scope to build their future in hydrogen economy. Because you know electrolyzers, you imagine electrolyzer. You can if you have proper knowledge or technology of electrolyzer, especially PM electrolyzer, and next electrolyzer is in development phase, that is AEM electrolyzer. That is much more cost effective than PM electrolyzer. If say product you have to make electrolyzer, there is a huge demand going to be there in next 5 to 10 years. You can do turnover of thousands of crores if you choose product manufacturing product as an electrolyzer.
Participants and students are requested to raise any queries, questions and doubts to today's resource person.
Sir, I think no questions.
Okay.
One.
Okay, okay, sir.
One. I should like to ask Sir Arvindji that where do you foresee India to be in 2040 in this particular campaign hydrogen? Whether India would be a leader or just also ran category?
If you
also ran category.
No, I think in 2040 India would be a leader in production of hydrogen fuel.
Yeah, great.
Leader and export hub. In fact, export hub.
Oh, very nice. Good. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Chaudhary sir and Principal Dr. Bharat Bhosle sir, and thank you very much for such a wonderful and ignited question answer session. Now, before we conclude the session of this national webinar, let me ask my colleague, Assistant Professor Prajakta Bhise ma'am, to propose vote of thanks.
Yes, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Adate, sir. Okay, good afternoon. I firstly thank to Honorable Engineer Arvindji Kadam for such a nice lecture that we had today. So good afternoon, all of you. I feel honored and privileged to get an opportunity to propose a vote of thanks on this auspicious occasion. Firstly, it is indeed a very memorable day as a resource person, Honorable Engineer Arvindji Kadam Sir, entrepreneur, innovative engineering, Satara, as well as a trustee of Sri Mudhai Devi Shikshan Sanstha, Devur, is with us for this national webinar. On behalf of Professor Sambhajirao Kadam College, convey a deep regards and heartily thanks to you, sir, for grace. For gracing and addressing, sharing with us a visionary talk on hydrogen, the fuel for future, the consistent guidance and cooperation with us. Your speech is very thought-provoking. My special thanks to Honorable Dr. Vivek Parkar, sir, a scientist of Atomics Research Center, Mumbai, for extending time to gracing this online webinar. My special thanks to Inspiration Source, a presidential and a principal, Dr. Bharat Bhosle, sir, for his presidential remark as well as he encouraged to us. Thank you very much, sir. I also extend my sincere thanks to the participants and my colleagues. With prior permission, I conclude the vote of thanks to all my members and thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes, very nice.
Thank you.
All the participants are requested to submit the feedback link which was placed in the WhatsApp group. I'm requested to all the participants to submit the feedback link which was placed in WhatsApp group.
Thank you. All of you.